Matt Dartnall, son of Terry Dartnall, didn't have much choice but to be involved in greyhounds from a very young age. He took over his dad's licence 7 years ago and hasn't looked back since.
We sort of lived here all my life basically, and we've had the kennels in the back garden, and as soon as I was old enough to sort of gallop a dog and walk a dog, I was doing so. And you always knew when you had a bit of work to do. When Dad used to pick us up from primary school in your school uniform, you put your wellies on, head over to the gallop and start galloping dogs, you know. And there were 35 kilo dogs, and dogs were dogs then, and I wasn't big enough to stand astride them, so you have to let one off and then give that one 10 yards and let the other one off and then run up the top of the gallop as quick as you could to put the leads on them and bring them back to the kennel.
And was that a happy child? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was kept me out of trouble, and always sort of racing on a Friday night or a Saturday night at Wembley. Used to jump in the van and sort of tidy up the coats and the leads and watch the dogs run and watch them win or get beat and shout them home if I could do, and stay with my granddad. And fish and chips on the way home and then back to the kennel. It was a bit of a late night, but you used to keep in the back of the van on the way home, and that was that really.
It wasn't always your plan to be a greyhound trainer though, was it?
No, I mean, went to college and then applied for university, and then sadly my mum passed away in that summer, so deferred for a year and ended up deferring for the rest of my life really, and ended up doing the dogs. And yeah, things have changed here. We've had some nice, decent dogs in the kennel, and yeah, we've had a good spell.
And it was a difficult decision for you to become a greyhound trainer, because I know that all your friends did go off to university and some of them went into the city and earned big money and things. Are you pleased that you're a greyhound trainer?
Yeah, I think he had his ups and downs like any job or any sport does, and some of the times you're sort of looking at it thinking, "Cool, what am I doing this for?" When you're you're loading up 8 runners going to Swindon or Reading and soaking wet, covered in mud, all the dog gets beat, you're thinking, late nights, what am I doing this for? And then when you've got some decent dogs in kennel and you're competing against the best and you're beating them, and you're working hard every day, and you get your rewards, and you can pay your mortgage and you can pay the staff and do everything you want to do in life.
You've got 3 sisters as well, and together with your dad you're a very, very close family. Is he proud of you going on to take over his licence and what you're achieving?
Yeah, I think he's very proud of me, and he knows I can do a dog as well as he can. We have buckles every day of what dog we should gallop or swim or trial or whatever, but we have different views, and he's sort of created my views, and we do everything together. And every father and son are going to have your ups and downs, but that's what life is. And he likes leaving me in control, and he's quite happy and quite proud of me when he watches me on the track with the dogs and doing well.
And when you first took over the licence, I used to ring you and ask you to do interviews and things. It was very much a case of ask the boss still, ask Dad. But it feels now like you are the boss. Does it feel that way to you?
Oh no, it's still ask Dad.
What's been your greatest success as a trainer?
I think runner-up in a derby. I think that's the one every greyhound trainer's chasing. Every owner, every breeder, everyone's chasing that derby trophy. And to be so close a few years back with Farlow Ironman, it's a dog that I went to Ireland, picked up myself. My uncle, when I took the licence over, he wanted me to buy him a dog, and it took me a while to find the right dog, and I finally found this one for him. And he got 3 of his friends involved, so it was 4 of them that owned it, and it was just a great summer. We won the semi-final, and we just had the dog spot on. Didn't get the luck in running and finished second in the final of the derby. Well, as an achievement, it's unbelievable, but you were only a couple of lengths out of picking up the big one.
You were gutted, weren't you?
I was absolutely gutted, I must admit. And I'm not a big drinker, but I had a few drinks that night. But on the back of it, you look back and you think, what an achievement.
Has it made you even more hungry? You've had 4 finalists now. Has it made you more hungry to win a derby?
Yeah, we keep going, Julie. We keep going. But yeah, I think it does. And when we're even looking at the breeding, we're always trying to breed for speed, looking at dogs that have won the derby or the lines that work well for the derby. And it used to be Dad was attached to Wimbledon for, I think, 10 years. He was attached there. So when I first got my licence, that's the first place I paraded dogs. And I remember being there one night and parading the whole loop of the track with crowds all the way around the place, and black tie in a restaurant, and the boxes filled up. And it was such an occasion. And I know Wimbledon still got the derby, and it's not as glamorous as it used to be, but it's still Wimbledon. It's still 20 minutes down the road, and it's still our local track.
You have won some big competitions as a trainer, Golden Jacket, the Olympic, Peterborough Puppy Derby, to name a few. Do you enjoy that side of it, the competitions and getting to the finals, the big occasions?
Yeah, I think when I started out, just took licence over from Dad. We had some real nice dogs in the kennel. Patsy Byrne was our owner, and you know he'd be sadly missed. And we had some real nice dogs. And I think when Dad sort of handed me the licence, he said, "Look, if you can't train them dogs to win competitions, you won't become a trainer." And we done a very good job with the ones we had. Derby finalists, Irish Derby finalists, and picked up numerous trophies. And now the kennel's changed somewhat. I mean, the loss of Patsy and a few other owners, not interested in the sport anymore. We got a contract with Toaster, and we're just concentrating at Toaster at the moment. And I think we're going to just build it back up again.
Are you enjoying life at Toaster?
Yeah, breath of fresh air. I think we needed it, and they've treated us really well down there. It's a lovely place to be, and I'm proud of my sport again. You go there, and the facilities are second to none. They've got a great management team. Kevin Akerman behind them all. Chris Page from Walthamstow, and they're running a really good track there.
Are you still breeding pups here?
Yeah, we have a litter a year. We had 2 litters last year actually, 1 litter the year before that. So yeah, we're still ticking along with the pups. We've got some nice ones on the track now at Toaster. It helps to keep your numbers up. It's a nice for the owners to follow them, from birth right through to racing and beyond. So it's a lovely way to do it.
So what are your ambitions in the sport looking ahead? Are you sort of fairly chilled now and just, go to Toaster and take your money, or have you got big ambitions still?
Still got big ambitions. It's nice to have Derby dogs in the kennel, but I think the reality sort of hits in when you think, hang on a minute, you graded runners, they pay the bills each week and each month, and I think that's what you need to do in life. If you keep paying the bills and keep yourself above water, I think that's what anyone or any man can do. And I think the Derby dogs are just the cream, the icing on the cake, really. So they're lovely dogs to wake up to and walk around the field and worry about, but at the end of the day, if you're sending graded runners to Toaster and you're having a few winners and your strike rate's 25% like ours is, you're doing well.